The mouth. The mouth is the beginning of the digestive system, and in fact, digestion starts here before you even take the first bite of a meal. The smell of food makes the salivary glands in your mouth to produce saliva. When you taste the food, saliva increases. When you start chewing and breaking the food down into pieces small enough to be digested, other mechanisms come into play. More saliva is produced to begin the process of breaking down food into a form your body can absorb and use.
The pharynx and esophagus. Also called the throat, the pharynx is the portion of the digestive tract that receives the food from your mouth. Coming out from the pharynx is the esophagus, which carries food to the stomach, and the trachea, which carries air to the lungs. The act of swallowing takes place in the pharynx, partially as a reflex and under voluntary control. The tongue and soft palate push food into the pharynx. The food then enters into the esophagus. Food is pushed through the esophagus and into the stomach by means of a series of contractions called peristalsis. Just before the opening to the stomach is an important muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter. This sphincter opens to let food pass into the stomach and closes to let it in.
The stomach and small intestine. The stomach is a sac-like organ with strong muscular walls. It mixes and grinds the food. The stomach secretes acids and powerful enzymes that continue the process of breaking the food down and changing it to a consistency of a liquid or paste. From there, food moves to the small intestine to be eliminated. Made up of three segments, the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, the small intestine also breaks down food using enzymes released by the pancreas and bile from the liver. The small intestine is where most nutrients are absorbed. Peristalsis is also at work in this organ, moving food through and mixing it up with the digestive secretions from the pancreas and liver, including bile. The duodenum is largely responsible for the continuing breaking down process. While food is in the small intestine, nutrients are absorbed by the jejunum and ileum through the walls and into the bloodstream. What's left over, the waste, moves into the large intestine, large colon.
The large intestine and anus. The colon, large intestine, is a long muscular tube that connects the small intestine to the rectum. It is made up of the colon and the sigmoid colon, which connect it to the rectum. The appendix is a small tube attached to the ascending colon. The large intestine is a highly specialized organ that is responsible for processing waste so that the extraction of waste is easy and convenient.
Waste left over from the digestive process passes through in the colon. This process takes about 36 hours. First in a liquid state and ultimately in a solid form. This stool is mostly food remains and bacteria. These bacteria perform several useful functions in the body, such as synthesizing various vitamins, processing waste products and food particles, and protecting against harmful bacteria.
As the waste products pass through the colon, any remaining water is absorbed. Stool is stored in the sigmoid colon until it is full of it, then it empties it into the rectum, usually once or twice a day, and there it begins the process of elimination.